when you want to level your life up, certain things are going to happen. When you start to level up, it's not just like life just gets gravy and everything is beautiful and this, that, and the third. All right. So in this video, we're going to talk about 5 things you can expect when you start to level up your life. I didn't do a video yesterday. I was pretty jam-packed. I had to take me and the boys to get haircuts. That was like a 3-hour ordeal, just that. I should have did the video out in the car. I'm not even going to say shoulda, but a good idea. Yeah. So, okay, guys, the first thing I want to say to you is that leveling up is lonely. When you start to break out of that routine that you in, and when you start to strive for something better, and you start to put in that type of work that's required to level up, it's going to get lonely. Because your past life, they're not going to resonate with that. Your old friends and places and all of that, they're not going to resonate with that. So the more you start to level up, the more you start to prioritize your personal development and your self-love, you're going to start to grow apart from your old friends. When I was younger, when I was living at my worst, I had so many friends. I was always surrounded by people. At any given time, I could be with 5 people, like just whenever. From the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep, I have about five homies around. It was just normal to me. But when you start to prioritize yourself and prioritize self-care, personal development, the majority of the people gonna fall off. Like right now, I'm by myself pretty much all the time. Except when like my wife gets off work or I got my kids with me. But when it comes to just friends and hanging out, I really don't have too many friends. Really the only interactions that I get with people outside of my family is when I go to church or when I'm at the youth center working with the kids. I see the people that work there, but as far as friends and hanging out and kicking it, if you trying to level up, all of that stuff goes out the window. We ain't got time to kick it. I don't got time to come over and chop it up with you for 5 hours or watching those goofy football game or sit and play Guitar Hero. I just don't got the time. Like, I'm focused on me. I'm focused on taking shit to the next level. I'm focused on my personal development. I'm focused on my dreams, my visions, and my goals. So if you ain't trying to put into that, I ain't got time for you, dog. All right, the second thing that we gonna talk about is discipline is boring. So all of the things that it's gonna require you to do to take it to the next level, it's gonna be boring. It's gonna be the same shit day in, day out, the same task day in, day out for years at a time. That's why most people can never create something that is truly valuable, because they don't have what it takes to be bored for the next 3 years. Like, yeah, you can improve that a little bit by constantly trying to like learn new skills or master whatever niche you're in, but it's still gonna get tiresome. It's still gonna get boring. You're still gonna long for something exciting, but you just gotta buckle down, man. Like, I've been struggling with that for the past 2 days. I've really been working super hard on this new project, and when I first started, I was super excited about it, but now it's like, I'm starting to get a little bored with it. It's a little bit harder to stay focused. I had to really like, something that should have took me just an hour or 2 to complete, I've been dragging my feet on it for like 7 hours. I finally did complete it right before I came out and shot this video, but that's just the nature of the beast. Discipline is boring. Success, most of the time, it's gonna be boring, unless you're in like a super fun industry. But most of the things that we'll get into when it comes to making money online, most of the stuff it's gonna be boring. It's gonna drive you crazy to have to lock in with something for years at a time in order to see something amazing happen. Okay, the next thing that we gonna talk about is, hold on, let me pull it up for y'all. Success creates new problems. Everybody thinks that when you become successful, all of your problems disappear, but that's completely the opposite. When you become successful, that's when the real problems start. If you ain't got nothing going on, your life is gonna be easy. Like if you just gotta go to work, come home, get your paycheck, pay your bills, sleep, shit, roll around with your old lady, like that's easy. That's simple stuff. But when you start to achieve that level of success, when you start to take things to the next level, it's just so many more moving parts. So many more things can mess up. When they say more money, more problems, that's true. You just got to think about it like this. If you're just working a regular 9 to 5, all you have to do is go to work, clock in, complete your tasks, clock out. You don't have nothing else to worry about. Now, on the other hand, if you're running a successful business and you're doing, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month, imagine how much stuff you're going to have to manage. Imagine how many fires you're going to have to put out on a daily. Imagine how many team members you're going to have to lead in order to get to that level of income. The more money you make, the more problems you're going to run into. The more money you make, the more people are going to be trying to finesse you. The more money you make, the more people are going to be asking for something. So don't think just because you get some success, it's going to be all good. Because that ain't the case, my boys. Right when that success comes, when we get to that level, that's when we really got to be on that. That's when we really got to be on our P's and Q's, making sure everything going smoothly. Because just because you got some money doesn't mean everything is going to go as planned. And just because you got some money now, or just because your business is going good now, doesn't mean that it's going to be going good next year. What's working for you this month might not be working for you next month. So even though you got to a certain level, every day you got to be adapting, putting out new advertisements, developing new products, new lead generation techniques. Never stop building. The next thing that we're going to talk about, your past is either a prison or it's a platform. You can either let your past hold you back, let all the bad things that happen to you control the way you think, and can control the way you look at opportunities, or you can use your past as a platform. Use your past as a learning experience. Use your past to help somebody else. When I first got out of prison, for the very first time, I looked at myself as just a convict, felon, drug dealer that would never amount to anything else. And that's what I continued to do. I continued to break the law, I continued to sell drugs, and I continued going back and forth to prison. But this last time I got out of prison, I went into drug treatment, and they started teaching me a little bit about, positive thinking and all of these things. And then I started to change my mindset. I started to change my perspective just by one mindset shift. Instead of looking at my past as a liability, I looked at my past as an asset. That one mindset shift has allowed me to build a whole entire new life. So really, it could all be as easy as just one mindset shift. You could change your entire outlook on life. You could change the entire trajectory of what you got going on just by changing your mind about one thing. I was on the phone with somebody and he knows about my past. I told him I struggled with drug addiction and hustling and all of this for many years. And I told him, I was addicted to heroin. I was addicted to all the drugs. I was an IV user. And he was like, man, so how did you do it? How was you able to put it down? So I basically told him the story about when I was in prison, and I just started thinking about how my decisions affected my family, and I just told myself I wasn't going to use drugs anymore. I basically just made the decision. And he was like, so you mean to tell me that you just made up your mind and that was it? I was like, yeah, brother, that was it. But that's how powerful the mind is. It only takes one decision to change your entire life. Like, that decision for me was, okay, I'm gonna stop using drugs. That was a decision that changed my life. So another decision that changed my life was, hey, I'm going to commit to making money online and like not go the traditional route and try to get a job or go to school. I'm just gonna figure it out. That decision changed my life. Like, this right here is another decision that I've made. You know, I'm gonna focus really heavy on my personal development, and I'm gonna record YouTube videos every day, just, you know, sharing about my life. So this decision hasn't like dramatically changed my life yet, but if I stick to what I said, and like I continue to do this for years on end, I can guarantee that it is going to bring some monumental change in my life. So just think about that. Like, you're one decision away from changing your life. But when I say one decision, that doesn't mean you make the decision and your life changes, but you make the decision and then you're consistent and you put in the work and you stand by what you said for years on end, your life could be completely different. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about one more thing, and then we're gonna wrap this video up because I gotta go do my live stream. I still gotta cook dinner for the fam before I do the live stream, you feel me? I wanna finish this video out by saying that nobody's coming to save us. Your life is in your own hands. You are gonna be the one that controls how your life goes. Your destiny is up to you. The decisions that you make right now, today, tomorrow, next week, this year, these decisions, your future is going to be directly correlated with these decisions that you're making now. So when I got out of prison this last time and I was in a sober living, somebody said something really profound to me. They said, where you're at right now in life is because of the decisions that you made 7 years ago. And they said that the decisions that you are making today is going to determine where you're at 7 years from now. I was like, damn, that's deep. So don't ever think that a small decision is not enough to change your life, because it is. Consistent actions every day in the right direction can bring you a life you never, ever dreamed of. So I just want y'all to be mindful of the decisions that you're making on a daily basis. And ask yourself, is this decision aligning with the person that I'm trying to become? Is this decision benefiting me and setting me up for the future life I want to live? Or is this decision taking me further away from that future life that I want to live? Love y'all. See y'all on the next one.